Welcome back, everybody. If you can recall from Chapter 9 and 10, we learned about special journals. In Chapter 9, we learned about the purchase journal and the cash payments journal. So any items or merchandise that we are purchasing to resell, and any cash payments that we made. And then in Chapter 10, we learned all about our sales journal, so anytime we made a sale, and then any cash receipts, so money brought in. So now we're going to learn in Chapter 11 how to post all of these entries that we made. So we're going to open up our instructions and get started here with Applia Problem 11.1, work together. So here's some partial purchases, cash payments, and general journal accounts for Graphics Incorporated. So we're learning how to post the items from Chapter 9 here. So the first instruction, we're going to start a new page for an accounts payable ledger for a Regal design. Our account number is 240 and the balance on October 1st of the current year is $877. So down here is our vendors. We're going to go to Regal Designs and fill in the information. So we're going to just plug in the title. The vendor number they said was 240. The balance on October 1st was a balance of $877. And in the item title name here, we're just going to write the word balance. And in the post reference, we put the V to indicate a check mark because we are never going to have to worry about this. This is already not coming from a journal or anything. This is a balance brought forward from the previous month or the previous time period. So we put the V there to represent the check mark. So our second instruction for Work Together 11.1 is to post the accounts payable credit entry on line 7 of the purchases journal to the accounts payable account for Regal Design. So we already have Regal Designs open, but the journal we have to open up is our purchases journal. And we're looking right here at line 7 for Regal Designs. And we have here, remember this is one entry for this line. We have a purchases debit and we have an accounts payable credit. So what we're looking for when we post from this journal is the accounts payable credit. So it's the same number, but we're looking at accounts payable credit. So this is the number we're going to be posting down here. So here we're going to write the date, the 19th. Where did we get this information from? It's P10 for purchase journal number 10. So remember we write here P10. And again, we said it was the accounts payable credit, so we're going to place it in the credit amount. So 1403.20. And then because we have a credit balance and we have a credit amount here, we're going to add these two numbers together to get our running tally here. So 877 plus the new number we put in there. Add them together, we get 2280 and 20 cents. And then the last step, cannot forget, we take the number 240 and we plug it into the post reference to show that we posted that amount there on that line. Instructions number 3 say to post the accounts payable debit entry on line 15 of the cash payments journal to the accounts payable account for electrographic supply. So don't make this seem any harder than it is. We're going to open up our cash payments journal and our electrographic supply. So up here, go to cash payments, down here, electrographic supply. So we're looking right here at line 15, so entry number 20. So down here we're going to write our date, the 20th. We get this from cash payments number 15. So we're looking at the page over here, so the 15. So CP 15. And here we are looking at the balance right here again, the accounts payable debit. So this is the column that we're looking for when we're posting this line for electrographic supply. We're looking at the accounts payable section here. So it's a cash payment that we made. So 776, and it has to be a debit. So down here we'll plug that in, 776. And because we have a debit transaction and a credit balance, we're going to subtract, so this ends up being 0. So it says here in our directions to type a 0 in the balance column to indicate 0. So we're going to type the 0 here, and then we take the 230, plug it in here to show that we have posted that amount. On to step 4, it says to post the credit entry line on line 5 of the general journal to the accounts payable account for electric graphics supplies. Post the debit entry on line 6 of the general journal entry to the accounts payable account for arts and things. So we're looking at line 5 and 6 of the general journal. Again, don't make it seem too hard. So we're going up here to our general journal, and we're looking at lines 5 and 6. So the first one they wanted us to go to is electrographic supply. We already have it open. The date here for that transaction was the 26th, so we're going to plug in the 26th. And we're going over here on that same line. We have 2 that we're going to actually be posting to. Remember, that's why we have this dash here. Right now we're only being shown how to do the second part, the electrographics. In another video you will learn that you will also be posting to accounts payable account as well. So we're looking at this line, and you'll see that it is a credit for $25.44. Where did we get this from? It's General Journal, page 11. So right here we write General Journal, or G11, and the $25.44 is a credit. And right now we have no balance here, so we are just going to carry this credit balance right on over, $25.44. And last step would be to place that $2.30 to show we posted. They also want us to now go to arts and things and do the same thing. So the 28th is our date. We're still on G11, and we have a debit balance here because it was a purchase returns and allowance, so it's something that we brought back. So we have a debit balance of $125. So right here in the debit column, $125, and because we have a credit and a debit, we're going to have to subtract. So we're going to take the balance of $873, that's credit normal balance, and we're going to subtract the $125, and we should have now a balance of $748. And last step, take the $210 and plug it in to show that we posted it. Our last step is number 5, prepare a schedule of accounts payable for graphics incorporated on October 31st of the current year for the selected accounts. Account payable balance in the general ledger on October 31st is $65.58.20. So that's the balance that we're shooting for when we're done with our schedule of accounts payable down here. So here's our accounts payable, and you've done one of these before in a previous chapter, so we write the name of our company at the top, which is the Graphics Incorporated. This is called a schedule of accounts payable, and our date that we're using is October 31st. Then we're going to list all 4 of these account vendors and their last balance that is shown here. So the first one we're going to write in is the arts and things, and our balance is $748. Our second one, Can Do Graphics, and our balance here is shown as $986. There's a line here that looks like there should be something there, but there's nothing else that they wanted us to do there, so our final balance was the $986. The third one, Electrographics. Our balance here, $25.44. And our last one, Regal Design. Our balance $22.80 and 20 cents. And the last line, we're going to write total accounts payable. And we're going to add those numbers up. Once we add those numbers up, we should have a balance of $65.58 and 20 cents. And then we want to open up our instructions again just to double check to make sure we have the same number here, and we do. It checks out, $65.58 and 20 cents. That concludes our 11-1 work together. Go ahead and finish this problem and move on to the work on your own for 11-1.